Okay. Alright, we're rolling. I'm Liz Hyatt, and starting a video diary to kind of document what's been going on. So I suppose that I start from the beginning. I expected that this entry would probably be the hardest, but I don't exactly know what's to come. So maybe, probably no, it could be the easiest. October 28th, I was 14 weeks pregnant, 13 weeks pregnant, 14 weeks pregnant. Actually 13. And I started having pain in my side. The pain got slowly, progressively worse over that Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By Monday, went to school, was having pretty significant pain. My sister and I had spoken on the phone and considered the fact that it might be gallbladder related. So about halfway through school on Monday, the pain became severe enough that I needed to leave school, and I met that afternoon with my family practice physician, Dr. Carlberg. He thought that it might also be gallbladder, although the symptoms weren't really those that you would typically see. But he sent me for a sonogram the following day at Community General Hospital. I went to Community, had a sonogram of my gallbladder, at which time they found a mass in my abdomen on the right side that they were unsure of what it was. They thought perhaps that it was a pedunculated fibroid, but my fibroid lays on the left side of my uterus, so we didn't think that that was quite right, but they weren't sure what else to say. So I saw Dr. Semron, who is my OBGYN. I called him, and he had me in, I believe, that Thursday for an appointment. He thought perhaps maybe I had kidney stones, or maybe the sonogram hadn't come back correct for my gallbladder. So I went for another complete sonogram where they also checked the baby. At that sonogram, they also saw the mass. They measured it, and they said that they didn't feel that it was a pedunculated fibroid. They felt that it was possible that it was a hemangioma. My mother and my grandmother have them, so you know, it would be typical that I would have them, but the difference is that it was outside of my liver and it was very large, so it didn't really fit the typical traits of that either. Following that, they recommended an MRI, so I went for an MRI after that, I believe that Friday, or maybe even the following Monday. Had an MRI of my abdomen and upper pelvis. The MRI also showed the mass in my right upper quadrant of my abdomen. They weren't quite sure what it was, but I was sent to a surgeon, and I consulted with Dr. Barker, and he felt that it was either a fibronodular hyperplasia or a hepatic adenoma, which are both benign. He felt that it was important to take him out because I was at risk for rupture. I was 14 weeks pregnant at that time, and he recommended surgery the following Tuesday. Went in for surgery that Tuesday, and I went in for surgery. I woke up to find my husband looking at me very strangely, and I finally worked out from him that it was not any of the things that they had suspected, that actually what I had was a form of ovarian cancer that was not connected to my ovary, not connected to my liver, not connected to anything either way. It was very large, and it was free-floating in my abdomen. So at that point, they had recommended that we would probably need to terminate the pregnancy. The oncologist, my OBGYN, and my surgeon all felt the same way, that it was probable that we would need to terminate. I was 15 weeks pregnant at the time, and not quite sure how I felt about it. I think that I just kind of accepted it and said, fine, whatever. we'll just move on with it. Although the idea scared me to death. So by Wednesday, Thursday, I hadn't eaten for 3 days. On Friday, I was finally able to eat again, which was great. And then Friday night, Dr. Semron had sent in the head of obstetrics at University Hospital, Dr. Aubrey, in to see me. And what he had to say was quite different than what the other physicians had been saying. He felt that suggesting termination was early, that it wasn't necessarily something we had to do at this time, and that he wanted some time to do research on the chemotherapeutic agents that I would be taking before making that decision. By that time on Thursday, I believe they came up with a definitive diagnosis that my tumor was a yolk sac tumor, and I don't remember the other name for it, but that they are, although they're fairly aggressive tumors, they said that they respond very well to treatment. So they suspected probably 4 rounds of treatment, which is pretty quick, and I actually begin those rounds next Wednesday. The 3 drugs that they'll be giving me are bleomycin, cisplatin, and etoposide. After the 2 weeks of my husband and I coming home and enjoying Thanksgiving and kind of pretending like none of this was happening, we met with Dr. Aubrey again, and then we also met with my oncologist, Mary Cunningham. Both physicians felt that we were safe enough with our chemotherapeutic agents to go forth with the pregnancy, which we were thrilled about. Because the risks were very minimal. That's the part of this whole thing that's kind of sucked the most, is the baby and worrying about it. But as of right now, we're super healthy, and the outlook is awesome, which is more than we could ask. So my treatments start next Wednesday, and today is, what is today? Today's Saturday. Every 3 weeks, I will be admitted to Cross Hospital for 5 days of chemo, at which time I'll come home on a Sunday, return to Brittenfield for 1 day of the bleomycin on Wednesday, and then the following Wednesday bleomycin, and then I'm readmitted that following Wednesday. So it's going to be a trip. Somewhat scared for the baby, but I'm staying positive and strong for myself and for everybody else, and I just really hope that, that I have enough fight in me to get through this with flying colors. And if I know myself at all, that shouldn't be too much of a problem, because I'm like a bull when it comes to this stuff, and I'll face it head on, and I'm not worried about the cancer. I can beat that. I just want this baby boy to be okay. So that's my message for today. It's almost 2:30, and the girls are coming to get me at 3. My appointment's at 3:45, so I'm gonna slap on some makeup to make it look as good as possible. I'll see you later. And if I could figure out how to stop this thing, it'd be good. Square. Nope, I didn't do it. Oh, maybe I hit record. Okay, here we are. This is the group of girls. We're here at the Fortress of Beauty to cut my hair off. So all of these locks will be gone pretty soon. We're having Marisa do it, so you'll meet her later. Bye-bye. Okay, here we are. This is the post hairdo style. I have some blonde in my hair, which I never thought I'd do.
And I have some lift in the back, which I never get to stand.
Absolutely gorgeous.
And we're all very excited, so now we're going to go to Angadi's and celebrate. And Kristen's in here somewhere.
Yes.
There she is. So, yay! Marisa rocks. I'll probably be back to her after my hair grows back.
Today was my first day of chemo. I was admitted at about 10 o'clock this morning. I had my port placed. It's fabulous. I don't know how much you can see that way. I can do it again a little bit. It's right there. And it's accessed right now, and I'm actually hooked up to some IV fluid right now, getting lots of hydration. I expected it to be a much more emotional day than it was. It was kind of hectic this morning. I was running around a lot, trying to get everything set and ready at home. You know, food for the baby, all the sheets done on the spare bedroom in case my mom came, all those important things. Came in, everybody down in interventional radiology was great, really, really nice. They got the port in there in like an hour. Came up to the floor, had myself some lunch. They gave me some medicine to ward off the nausea, and then they gave me some Benadryl and something else. And it kind of made me tired. I think I dozed in and out a little bit. Now it's 7:35. I've had my first chemo. I've had bleomycin. And just like everybody said to me, I kind of sat there going, so is it doing anything? Do I feel it yet? And I don't. I feel fine. I'll probably feel fine tomorrow too. I'm imagining that this will all kind of hit me in the next couple days, if not tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. The day after. Or maybe it won't affect me at all. Maybe I'll be one of those people that are like, chemo, you know. So either way, that's my report for today. Still have hair. Today will be day number 1 though, and they say 4 to 6 weeks, which would bring me into January, which means that I'll still have hair for Santa, which is great. Other than that, I feel great, you know. I'm still keeping really positive attitude. My nurses and doctors are great. Everybody's really cognizant of the baby. Things are good. So that's my report, but I'll let you check out the IVs. IV pump. I know, very exciting, right? They're all very interesting. This right here is the chemo. There I am, the bleomycin. That's all I've gotten so far. And then they also gave me this one over here. They gave me Tagamet and Benadryl. Benadryl to set me up with a heating pad for my back. You know, the typical things. Nice fuzzy blanket, clock on the wall, and a television. What would you do without it? And I forgot to report one more important thing, the water and my baby on the wall. There he is. Mommy misses you.
This is the moment, it's on the line. Which way you gonna fall?